The world is now marking 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. The UN-backed campaign aims to dismantle the cultural and structural barriers that keep women unsafe. As world leaders began pouring into South Africa for the G20 on November 21, South African women staged a nationwide shutdown to demand urgent action to stop the violence that they face. And their campaign paid off. On the very same day, the government declared gender-based violence and femicide a national disaster.
When we did our shutdown, we saw such an international reaction and support and solidarity, because gender-based violence is a national and global issue. So I think what we would hope is that citizens from other countries can also see the power of their unified voices and coming together and speaking out against these issues.
But why are so many women and girls so persistently falling victim to violence?
I've seen a lot of women stay in abusive relationships because they are from poor backgrounds.
There is no traditional culture which allows abuse. It's only us misusing tradition and culture.
Welcome to the flip side. 15 women are killed in South Africa every day, and that's a femicide rate 5 times the global average. Gender-based violence is outlawed, but harmful social norms persist.
I blame society because at the end of the day, these men, when they meet and talk, they speaking wrong messages to each other, especially if they're going through problems. They're speaking wrong messages that they must be dominant or something like that.
So what goes on in the minds of the men and women caught up in cycles of violence?
In some cultures, women do normalize violence as love. I mean, cultural socialization and patriarchy contributes to that type of behavior. It is a harmful norm, because it teaches them that, endurance in relationship, for example, is a sign of loyalty.
And what can families or communities do to change this?
We need as a society to start teaching healthy relationships early. Families should model respect. That is the most critical element of African people, and also emotional expression for both boys and girls. But also we have to look at community accountability systems. Here we are talking about faith leaders. They need to play their role, schools, local governments in our countries, and also our policing system need to be very sensitive around these matters when these matters are brought to the police stations as well. But lastly, I think the other aspect is to empower economic support, particularly on a girl child.
And is it true that the government is failing women and girls?
We acknowledge that more it's required to be done, particularly on the issue of capacity building for service desk points, wherein human beings like you and I, whether men or women, require that kind of capacity building in order to understand the conditions that victims of gender-based violence are subjected to. We want to integrate the victims to the communities that they come from, but also the households that they come from.
So now that GBV is a national disaster, how do activists see the way forward to a society where a South African woman can live without the fear of violence?
What we're hoping to see more tangibly is we want to see a clear action plan. We want to see improvement and implementation of the frameworks and policies. We want improvement of service delivery and law enforcement. We want to see our Tujuzela care centers improving, which are just facilities that offer holistic support to victims and survivors. We really want to see the action behind all this work, because we've been given so many high-level promises, like it's enough. We now want to see them act.
And that's the flip side.